AskReddit by Seraphically 329. What celebrity did you adore but have since changed your mind? Bill Cosby. I grew up on Fat Albert, The Cosby Show, his comedy albums and Jell-O pudding pops. He truly was America's dad. Finding out he wasn't really like that still hurts. I'm especially sad that little Bill grew up to be Bill Cosby. Nicki Minaj. The way she was poking fun at the fact that Meg Thee Stallion's mom died is such a serious line to cross for me. Anyone who has ever lost a parent young would know how sensitive that shit is. Also, cops having to prevent Barbs from defacing Meg's mother's gravesite? Unfathomable. And actively tries to silence her husband's rape victim. James Franco. Broke my heart when it came out he was such a creep. And Danny Masterson. I loved Hyde. Danny Masterson was mine. I used to endlessly rewatch that 70s show back when it was still on Netflix, and Hyde was my favorite. Finding out about the Scientology and sexual assaults broke me. Playing such a likable character while being such a fucking menace. My brother loved Daryl Strawberry. My brother was at a baseball camp and was in an elevator with his idol and asked for an autograph, which Daryl replied, "Get away from me, kid." Broke my brother's heart. I hated Daryl, ex-Boss fan. Then when Gary Carter died, he was truly overcome with grief, and he said how important Carter had been to him trying to get straight. He said something along the lines of, "We all made fun of Gary when we were playing, but he was right and I was wrong." Warmed my cold dark heart. Jared Padalecki. Many Supernatural fans would probably say the same. I met him a couple times at SPN cons and he always seemed like a giant teddy bear. Towards the end of the show he got a bit too big his britches, got super whiny about everything like it was an affront to him, and really became all around an entire asshole. I remember when he accosted a hotel employee and posted a picture of the guy on Twitter, to what get his fans to attack the dude, and his Karen face was in full display in the mirror of the photo. There's a reason why Jensen Ackles didn't inform him of or want him in the Winchesters show when it came out. He was so hurt by it but couldn't do a little introspection on why everyone around him was dropping him so quick. Genuinely super sad about Jared becoming such a dick. There were also stories that while filming House of Wax, he and Chad Michael Murray were the biggest douches to work with. The crew was expecting Paris Hilton to be snobby and difficult, but she was polite, would talk to people, and showed up on time. I used to find Chrissy Teigen really refreshing and overall funny. Silly IDK what did it, but she's now insufferable, which makes me sad. We found out that she was harassing Courtney Stodden relentlessly on Twitter, and that's insane. Conor McGregor. As an Irish UFC fan before he came along, it was amazing to see his rise and the buzz around him. I couldn't get enough of him. Now he's just a coked up social media influencer really. Dude is such a grade A douche. Like others, I wouldn't say adore, but I really liked Lizzo. Such a bummer. What happened with Lizzo? I'm OOTL. Lizzo. It was quite a shock. Lizzo and I have had a rocky relationship since she said Chris Brown is her favorite person. Jared Leto. Used to be a huge 30 Seconds to Mars fan, still love the first 3 albums, and he seemed like a solid guy from the interviews I had seen back in the day. Over time though I started to realize how pretentious he is. Like he has some Bono complex. He sees himself like some profound artist who is changing the world. Did you see him in the latest Blade Runner? You can tell that he thinks he's the hottest shit on the planet. Ellen DeGeneres. As a baby gay in a rural town, seeing people on TV cheer for someone like me really meant a lot. But you can't ignore creating a toxic workplace. Not to mention, some of those pranks were just mean, looking back on it. I remember her sitcom when she leaned into a microphone to tell someone she's gay, announcing to the world. What a splash she made. Dane Cook. It was hard being a Can-I fan for the past decade. Alas, I just cannot defend that man anymore. Knew he was unhinged since the moment he interrupted Taylor Swift and ruined her moment at the VMAs in 2009. She was just a 19-year-old girl who got a big break. What kind of grown-ass man does that to a kid? Madonna. I just can't anymore. She's gone so far off the deep end. Also, there's a video going viral right now where she yells at a dude in a wheelchair for sitting at her concert. When she realized he was in a wheelchair, instead of apologizing, she said, "Oh sorry, I'm not politically correct." Julia Roberts. When she had an affair with that man who worked on one of her films and then wore a handmade shirt insulting his poor wife, because she wouldn't give him the quickie divorce Julia wanted them to have. Me too. What an asshole. Almost all the 70s rock stars I adored. Turns out, they were all pedophiles sleeping with very young girls. I remember not liking Topher Grace because I had read in a magazine or somewhere that he wasn't close with the rest of the cast. He was painted as this snobby kid who thought he was better than everybody else, and he never denied it. I hope he feels vindicated now that he kept all those assholes at arm's length and it's finally come out how terrible the rest of them are. Ezra Miller. I thought his acting was really great. I was so upset to hear what an awful person he truly is. It's almost cartoonish how awful he is. I thought it was a joke when all of it first came out, but no. Dr. Seuss. OMG, I had no idea. I went to UCSD and spent many hours studying in Geisel Library, which has an amazing Dr. Seuss collection. So sad to hear about his wife. Ariana Grande. I used to love her music. I can't in good faith listen now. It's now 3 relationships she has home wrecked. This isn't a youthful mistake anymore. Yeah, and then the songs bragging about it are just gross. I used to like Steve Jobs until I realized he was a total dick. Randy Quaid used to be really cool. I loved him as Cousin Eddie and as the drunken pilot in Independence Day. Now he's batshit insane. On that note, learning Chevy Chase has consistently been a racist, homophobic, obscene, toxic asshole his whole career, that one was hard for me. Jimmy Fallon. I get when people don't like that he laughs at all his jokes. Whatever, I dig it, and it'd always give me a chuckle and made him fun to watch him out. And then the allegations of him being a giant dickhead came out. It felt like Ellen all over again. So, also Ellen. I liked him on SNL and thought him and Sambach breaking constantly was hilarious, and then he moved into the talk show shit and his fake over the top laughing was too much. Lance Armstrong. He wins 7 TDFs in a row. He was my hero. Then he got caught doping. Meh, everyone does at that level. Then the stories that came out to the lengths he would go to cover up that doping, while stridently denying that he was doping. Fuck that lying hypocritical liar. Same. For me it wasn't that he doped, because I 100% believed that all of the top riders at that level were doping. It was all the other shit that he did around it. On one stage of the TDF, and this is from memory so take it with a grain of salt, he chased down a breakaway just because one of the riders spoke out about Lance doping. Lance was in the yellow jersey at the time, so him chasing down the breakaway brought the whole peloton with him, just to deny that breakaway rider their moment in the sun. All because that guy was speaking the truth. Kobe Bryant, Anthony Kiedis, and the entire band of Aerosmith, and Steven Tyler for various rape allegations. And Tyler for being a pedophile. I had such serious passion for Chris Noth, Law and Amp, Order, Sex and Amp, The City, for years. I mean hardcore fan groups online. That waned, but I did always find him just dreamy. Then it comes out he's a walking sexual assault. Damn. I loved him.